Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses in New York. Or if you're already doing how to grow your business, I am at Investor Fuel in Dallas, and I had a great question. And the question is, why do I send my wholesale deals to my list of cash buyers instead of just posting them on the MLS? That is a great question. I'm going to explain to you why. The truth is, if I had focused my business only on vacant properties and out-of-state owners, then I probably could list them on the MLS easily. But if I have a situation where the owner is living in there, or they have a tenant living in there, who maybe they haven't told that they're in contract to sell, then the problem is if you list it on the MLS, they are going to find out and they are going to be royally pissed off at you. So I cannot do that in most situations. Occasionally I'll get a deal where it's an out-of-state owner, property is vacant, and then I can do it. They're not looking it up. They're not doing it. But if they are living in the property, and a lot of the properties I buy, the owner lives in there, I can't list it on the MLS for obvious reasons, right? People get very upset if you list their property when you are telling them that you're buying it. They want to know what the hell's going on, especially when you're listing it for a number that is higher than what you're buying it for, which is what you're going to do when you wholesale. So you can usually, in my situation, I usually cannot list a property on the MLS. Now, I have a friend who buys mostly in the Hudson Valley, which is northern New York, and he really only markets to vacant properties. So if most of my properties are vacant, I would look to put them on the MLS. Now, the truth is, when you list a property on the MLS that you don't own, and that is perfectly legal, you just cannot represent that you buy it, that you own it. You have to list the seller as a contract vendee, which means you're in contract, and that's perfectly fine. But it's actually one of the best ways to build a buyer's list because people are going to find you, right? Especially when you put into the description that you are looking for investors and you're looking for cash buyers. People will find you and you'll get new buyers. It's one of the best ways. And I've done it, and I very often have put in sort of a cascading system of selling property. So I used to show the property to my VIP buyers, people that have bought from me before. I don't do that anymore. I really send it to the entire list, and I really let it be an auction. I don't pocket wholesale because we're in a crazy market right now, and the numbers I've gotten for a lot of the wholesale deals were significantly higher than whatever I would have anticipated, right? And sometimes people can pay more than you ever dreamed that they can pay for a property, because they're going to keep it as I had a property recently in Hempstead, New York, where I got $40,000 more for it than I expected, maybe more than 40, because they were going to keep it for student housing. And things like that happen all the time. Sometimes people will pay up for a property. A cash buyer will pay significantly more for a property than you thought they would, because they need to keep their crews busy or something along those lines. So there is really almost no cap on what cash buyers will pay today. If you think about it, the entire auction market right now, I bought at auctions for 4 years, from 2013 to 2017. That whole market dropped dead when COVID started. It hasn't started up yet because the foreclosures are taking a long time to get through the system. So if you were primarily an auction buyer, and I stopped, thank God, in 2017, you haven't really gotten too many deals since 2019, right? 2020, right, when COVID started. A lot of those guys are desperate for a deal, even if they have to squeeze to make the deal work. So I would say that going to the list really has not been a problem for me. The past year, I've gotten more for almost every single property I put out there, and I do not need to put it on the MLS. And most of those situations I could not put on the MLS. It's an excellent question, but the truth is you cannot list a property on the MLS if the owner is living there, or even if the tenant's living there, right? What happens a lot is I'll buy properties with tenants, and the owner will specify to me that they don't want me talking to the tenants until we close, at which point I'll go to the tenants and offer them some money to leave, and probably start an eviction process at the same time. But I do not want the owner to start yelling at me, or the tenant to start yelling at the owner, why is your property listed for sale when you didn't tell me anything about it? So those are the kinds of touchy situations I'm in more often than not, and I cannot list the property on the MLS as contract vendee when someone's going to get really pissed off by it. So again, it depends on the situation. If the situation calls for it, I'm happy to do it. I think it's a great way to build your list. I think it's a great way to open yourself up to buyers who you don't have on your list. I think it's a great way to find as many buyers as possible. I think it's excellent. I just think that you cannot do it in most of the situations that I buy. You can do it if you, again, if you're really focused on vacants and out-of-state owners, certainly a combination of those two things, then you can, but you can't do it if the owner lives there. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click the thumbs up. The likes really help my SEO, my search engine optimization. And I post 5 times a week. This came by request. I beg of you to please keep the comments coming. You can ask anything. It doesn't have to be about the video you're watching. I need topics to cover, and I'm running out of ideas. So please keep them coming. And you can ask any question. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered before, I'll send you links to one video or multiple videos on it. I just sent somebody a link to 4 videos on a topic that I had before. And if it's something new like this, I never had this question asked before, I will do a new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching.